America, we say we're persecuted when people say nasty things about us. In Nigeria right now, Christians are being killed at rates never seen before in the history of the church. Right now, today, the children being kidnapped, their daughters being taken into forced marriages by the Muslims in the north of Nigeria. That's persecution. Not the news media saying nasty things about us. Amen? Call it what you want, but please stop calling it persecution. It's an insult to our brothers and sisters who are really being persecuted.
Welcome, everyone. This is My Thoughts Uncut. I'm your host, Terrence Manning. We're going to talk about how there's been thousands of Christians being slaughtered in Nigeria and how Trump has told the Nigerian government they better stop or he's going to take action himself. Let's take a look.
President Trump is leaving open the possibility of U.S. military action in Nigeria as he accused the nation of not stemming violence against Christians there. The president has asked the Defense Department to prepare options that could include troops on the ground or airstrikes. The situation on the ground, however, is far from straightforward. Violence in Nigeria does affect Christians, but also Muslims, and is driven by religious, ethnic, and resource-based tensions in that country. Joining me now, Fareed Zakaria, host of Fareed Zakaria GPS on CNN. He also has a new book, Age of Revolutions, releases in paperback tomorrow. Make sure to get your copy. There always, Fareed, you're so good at just making us understand what's happening globally. Let's talk about what's happening with Trump in Nigeria. He's suddenly suggesting potentially putting troops on the ground or airstrikes. But he's already threatened strikes inside Venezuela, and we've been seeing the multitude of strikes on boats in international waters, killing more than a dozen people. For a guy who is insisting he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize for stopping wars, how do you read what's happening?
You see how they try to spin these things about how he's asking for a Nobel Peace Prize? Yes, if you are trying to bring drugs into the United States of America, yes, he's going to retaliate. And that's to speak on the Venezuelan boats that they've been targeting, that they have drugs on their boats and they're making their way to massively produce and sell it in the United States of America. That's their goal. So if we stop it, i.e. Trump stops it, he still has to defend the country. It has nothing to do with war. He's still peace. And on top of that, he's telling Nigeria, hey, what are you doing? Why are you killing thousands of Christians since 2000? Like, this is ridiculous. There's not going to be a war going on with Nigeria. They're not going to try to do anything to upset President Trump. They will bend the knee and they will listen. But as right now, he just give him a little tap on the jaw, like, hey, you better listen. Let's continue these news stations, I tell you.
Now,
it seems very impulsive and emotional. He possibly saw something on TV. It is very strange. The Nigerian situation is exactly as you said, Sarah, very complicated. A lot of the violence people have heard about in Nigeria, Boko Haram, that terror group that took those school children, we all remember. That was mostly Muslim on Muslim violence. Those are jihadi groups often taking, killing Muslims. Not in all cases, but in many of them. There is Muslim Christian violence. As you say, some of it is based on farmers versus goat herders. The current president, Tinubu, has actually been trying his best to diffuse that kind of violence, and is himself an exemplary example of Nigeria's kind of multi-religious tradition. He is Muslim, the president of Nigeria. He's married to a Christian woman who is an ordained minister. And he often talks about how that marriage is part of what he's trying to do. Nigeria is 50% Christian, 50% Muslim. So it's an odd place for President Trump to interject himself, particularly militarily. I suspect, like many of President Trump's, emotional outbursts, that will not actually lead to military action. That would, that could set off a kind of tinderbox in Nigeria. But we just have to wait and see with President Trump.
He's so disingenuous, and we're gonna listen to the horse's mouth. This gentleman was on Fox News, and he's Nigerian, and he's gonna explain his story to them. Now you guys can hear too.
I have been in here for as long as I know. I've been in these places where these attacks have taken place. I've seen women who are crying for the loss of their husbands. I've seen children who are crying for the loss of their parents. I've seen parents who are crying for the loss of their children. I've been to churches that have been burnt down. These are not things that I've heard from the news or someone telling me. This is something that I witnessed somewhere. I've been myself. I've witnessed where terrorism is at the highest point, where people are killed and slaughtered like chickens every day.
Paul, I don't have a lot of time left, but I just want to ask you one last question. How have you and other Christians kept the faith during this persecution?
We are grateful for the organization I work with, Irish Global, who have taken it upon themselves to care for these persecuted Christians by providing relief materials, emergency kits, and then also providing them with discipleship where they are being told that despite all that is happening to them, Christ still loves them.
Paul Adamu, just so you know, the African church, the Nigerian church in particular, the Christians there have been an amazing example of faith through persecution and martyrdom. And we are praying for all of you very much. And we hope the president will do something that will make a difference for your religious freedom in your country. Thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate it. And God bless you.
I'm Steve.
Now, I dare any of the news stations, any of those liberal news stations, question that gentleman's experience, what's going on in Nigeria. He lives there. He's telling you what's going on. He's not telling you their truth and them truth. He's telling you the truth, not his truth, the truth. This is what's going on. People are getting slaughtered. They are terrified. The women are being treated horribly. Like, I don't understand why anytime Trump is trying to do the right thing, the news stations are always going against him and try to make it seem like it's not as bad as it seems. But it is as bad as it seems. This has been going on for a long time. And even Bill Maher has been talking about it. And I'll let you guys look.
Jerry, I mean, the fact that this issue has not gotten on people's radar.
Right, no one's talking about it.
It's pretty amazing. If you don't know what's going on in Nigeria, your media sources suck. You are in a bubble. Not, and again, I'm not a Christian, but they are.
And another thing, how dare people say Trump is racist? This man is standing up for the people in Nigeria who are Christians, and he's standing up for them. And we all know Nigerians are all black. Yes, they're African, but they're still black. They're black in skin color. So don't tell me he's racist when he's the only president I know of that's taking a stand on this.
Systematically killing the Christians in Nigeria. They've killed over 100,000 since 2009. They burned 18,000 churches. This is so much more. These are their Islamists, Boko Haram. This is so much more of a genocide attempt than what is going on in Gaza. They are literally attempting to wipe out the Christian population of an entire country. Where are the kids protesting this?
Thank you. Thank you. Because no one will talk about it, so thank you.
And that's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, family and friends. No one talks about things like this. These kids, these liberals, they don't talk about these kind of things. If they really cared about black people, they'll be talking about this. They'll be having signs and going crazy and asking the government to help them out, but they're not doing that. Why? Because the people in power, the liberals, they don't care. They don't care at all. All they want is chaos within the U.S., and anything Trump does or says, they want the opposite. That's plain and simple. They don't care about the black community. They don't care about Africans. They don't care about anyone in the African continent. All they care about is their pockets, what their agendas are and is. That's all. So wake up, Democrats. Wake up, independents. This is how the Democratic Party and the government behaves. They don't care. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I see you next time. Peace.